Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Soder Report. My name is Kyle Soder, and today we are live for the NFL Draft. We're going to be breaking down all the picks. We're going to be analyzing what those picks mean, specifically for the 49ers. So, bear with me here. It seems my internet is just a little bit behind. So, the 49ers currently picking at 11. I've stated over and over again that I would prefer that they trade back in this year's draft. There we go. There we go. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for this from YouTube. I have the TV off the screen right now, so I don't think I should. But as 49ers fans, we should be hoping and praying that a bunch of quarterbacks go in the top 10. More than are expected. I think the Saints at 9 could definitely shake up the draft. Because we really don't know what's going on with Derek Carr right now. And if that's a huge issue, then they're going to need a quarterback for next year. Too happy, are you? What if we do that? Huh? What if we do that? You want to be on your back or your belly? You seem really dang comfortable on your back right now. So let's try your back. All right. All right, so I just want to make sure. Okay, here we are. I'm having some big time internet issues.
For 800 people watching us.
Okay. So Tennessee is on the clock. Hopefully this TV will hold up for more than a couple seconds. All right, Tennessee is on the clock right now. Man, I've got a lot of stuff going on at the same time. Okay. Okay. I just got home from work. I haven't eaten anything all day. So, all right. So there you have it. Cam Ward goes first overall to the surprise of absolutely no one to the Tennessee Titans. It was interesting. They were just showing a graphic saying that the Titans allowed over 27 points per game last year, which was 30th in the NFL. So we'll see what they do here the rest of the draft. They needed a quarterback, so they went out and got the best prospect available. but they'll need to go defense heavy the rest of the draft. So now, second pick. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. I think we all know who the next two picks are going to be. Just what order are they going to go? Is it going to be Travis Hunter to the Browns and then Abdul Carter to the Giants? Or is it going to be vice versa? Last year. Whoa. Did the Jags trade up to number 2? That's from the Jaguars official Twitter. The Jaguars trade up to number 2. What the heck? All right. We already have a surprise here in the draft. The Jaguars are on the clock at pick number 2. I wonder what kind of capital they gave up to get there. They moved up from 5, so this is interesting because the Jaguars have been rumored to be wanting offensive players. Do they get the 2-for-1 in Travis Hunter, or are they trying to leap over the Patriots for someone they think the Patriots are going to draft? Or was that all smoke and are they just going for Abdul Carter? Wow, so this is already a very interesting draft. How interesting. Scott Proctor says the Jacksonville Jaguars just selected the best player in the NFL draft. And it looks like a Colorado field. So and I'm seeing a second one saying the Jaguars land Travis Hunter with the second overall pick in the draft. Yeah, that's what's flooding in now. The Jaguars selecting Travis Hunter. So, last year we had this, if you remember, where the pick would get leaked on Twitter a few minutes before it got announced over the television. But then, right at the end of round one, the 49ers picking at 31, they leaked Cooper DeJean to the 49ers, and then it ended up being Ricky Pearsall. So we're not going to be able to completely trust it because of what happened last year, but early on in this draft process, it should be pretty accurate. I mean, they went 31 of 32 last year on Twitter, so. Eric Armstead up there announcing the pick. Armstead is just announcing the Jaguars pick right now. Giving a little speech for being Walter Payton Man of the Year. Just say Travis Hunter's the pick. Come on. We don't need to give a huge speech. Let's go. Yep, there it is. Official. The pick is Travis Hunter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, I do wonder what the Jaguars gave up to get to the second overall pick. Okay, so now it's the New York Giants on the clock at number 3. So you would expect Abdul Carter to go right here. Refreshing. I don't see anything on the New York Giants pick just yet. Okay, I just saw one tweet. Okay, I'm seeing a couple tweets now saying that the Giants select Abdul Carter. So, their pass rushing room is absolutely loaded now. They add Abdul Carter to a room that already had Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns. So watch out for that defensive front from the New York Giants next year. That's gonna be interesting to watch. Now they just need a quarterback to get the ball to. They just need a quarterback to get the ball to Malik Neighbors. And then if only they had a running back like, I don't know, Saquon Barkley. That team would be incredible if they had Saquon Barkley. Man. I did forget they have Dexter Lawrence as well. So, seriously, that defensive line is stacked. That'll be interesting to watch next year. This kiddo, man. There it is. They just all got up. They're shaking hands and everything. We all already know who it is. Come on. The dream scenario for the 49ers would have been Shedeur Sanders going in the top 3 and the Saints panic picking Jackson Dart at 9. But that was always a long shot anyway. There it is officially from the mouth of Roger Goodell himself. Abdul Carter is the pick, and that is a loaded defensive front now, like I said. So the New England Patriots at 4 is where this draft really gets interesting. Because there's a lot of people mocking... why can I not think? Will Campbell to him at 4. I'm not too convinced, though. Maybe that is the pick. He's an incredible talent. He's got the mindset that you want out of an athlete. But his measurables are a cause for concern. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots went in a different direction. Maybe they take Ashton Genty. I really don't know what they do. I'm seeing that the pick is in, and the Patriots do, in fact, select Will Campbell 4th overall. So, they get a mauler. Will Campbell is a mauler. He's got the right mindset for the NFL. Like I said, it will be interesting to watch how his measurables play. If he plays well, then maybe that changes the conversation around tackles in the future. And then Cleveland's on the clock at 5. Who is Cleveland's backup quarterback? Is there a chance they go with Shedeur Sanders? Yeah. But then they've also got Mason Graham on the board. They've got Teteroa McMillan on the board. There's a lot to choose from here at 5 for the Cleveland Browns. I still don't know what the Cleveland Browns got in return for Jacksonville. In return for the 2nd overall pick, rather. Ooh, here's a tweet saying that the Browns are fielding calls for the number 5 pick. I would be very against the 49ers picking here. Dad duty's tough. Yeah, all the reports are saying that the Browns are fielding calls for the number 5 pick. I would probably expect someone to trade up and draft Mason Graham. Actually, the Raiders are picking 6th. And I think the consensus is that the Raiders are picking Ashton Jeanty. So if there's a team out there that really wants Ashton Jeanty, then they better trade up with the Browns. Okay, the pick is in. The Browns select Mason Graham with the 5th overall pick. Line up Mason Graham next to I just got a text saying that the Jaguars gave up a lot. I don't know what they gave up. I haven't seen it yet. Obviously, I don't really have a free hand. It's funny, because after every single pick, there's people on Twitter saying the first X amount of picks win as expected. Now the real draft begins. Yeah, I can't find what the Jaguars gave up. I'm seeing Jags fans hate what they gave up. I can't find what they gave up, though. What did they give up? Okay, the Browns received the 5th selection, the 4th pick. Wait, they received 5, 36, 126, and Jacksonville's 2026 first round pick? Holy crap. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is That is a lot to give up for Travis Hunter, man. If Travis Hunter can actually be an above average wide receiver and an above average corner, then yeah, he's worth that pick. But I don't know, man. I have Teteroa McMillan as the best wide receiver, and I've got Will Johnson as the best corner, and I've got Jahdae Barron as the second best corner. So I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that, gave up that much to move up 3 spots. Okay, hopefully he calms down. I'm already seeing that the Raiders selected Ashton Jeanty with the 6th pick. They haven't even announced the 5th pick. I'm already seeing Jeanty to the Raiders. So, fantasy football players, select Ashton Jeanty because that Raiders backfield is going to be Jeanty and a bunch of meh. Okay. There's the official announcement for Mason Graham. Man, you gave up the Jacksonville Jaguars gave up a king's ransom to move up 3 spots. And now my ultimate dream come true San Francisco 49er is off the board to the Cleveland Browns, playing next to Myles Garrett. So there's a couple of guys that just went in the top 5 that turn some bottom feeders into a couple of teams that might not have the greatest offense, but they have some menacing defensive lines now. So the first 6 picks went sort of as everyone expected. Now the real draft can start. So with pick number 7, we can probably expect the New York Jets to take Armand Membu. I have Armand Membu as my number 1 tackle in the draft. So obviously I think they're getting some good value there. Yeah, the Cleveland Browns are having a heck of a draft so far. They got a king's ransom to move back and draft the best defensive tackle in the draft. The Cleveland Browns are having an incredible draft. So really no surprises so far. Yeah, all the Ashton Genty stuff is coming out now. Here's the call. He was my favorite player in this draft, just to watch. I put him on my avoid board for the 49ers, just because he's a running back, but he is... he's an incredible player. I'm seeing it again. So it's this guy, NFL Dov Kleeman, announcing all of these picks. And he's saying Armand Membu at 7. Seven yards per carry in 2024. That's insane, man. So the New York Jets select Armand Membu. I don't exactly know what to make of that. I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to even talk about the Jets. I mean, they just suck. There's not really a lot more to say. There's not much more to say about the New York Jets other than they get Armand Membu. He was the probable pick there. And next year they're going to be picking top 10 again. So I'm looking at the stream here or at the TV program here, and the Zierlein's best available list has James Pierce Jr. at 31. Would not be upset at all if he ended up as a 49er. Hopefully the Niners can trade back, like I've said many, many times, but okay, who would I be okay with selecting at 11 for the 49ers? My tier 1 list is Ted McMillan, Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, Jalen Walker. Those are my tier 1 guys. And then tier 2 guys I have that I would be okay with selecting at 11. I would say James Pierce Jr., Walter Nolan, and Mykel Williams. And Jahad Campbell. Let's throw Jahad Campbell in there too. You're terrorizing me here, bud. I guess I could just hold this here. Where did Twitter go? Oh, there it is. Jeez, kid. All right, 1 second, guys. All right, guys. So, the first 7 picks went as expected. Now the real draft begins. Yeah, so Membu goes at 7. So the Carolina Panthers. Are they going with Jalen Walker? Are they going with Ted McMillan? Oh, I'm seeing NFL Dov Kleeman. 12 seconds ago, he's saying the Panthers select Ted McMillan with the 8th pick. So Jalen Walker gets past the Saints, or gets past the Panthers. So Jalen Walker, Jahdae Barron, Will Johnson, all still on the board. Those are the tier 1 guys that I have. I really like Michael Williams too, though. At pick 11, the Niners are going to get someone. They're going to get someone that is just an absolute beast. Also, fantasy football. Trent McMillan. I don't really know. Okay, so the Saints at 9. They're the first team that can really throw a weird wrench into things. I think I've talked about this already on this stream, but the Saints, they need a quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is still available. You would think that's where they go. The worst case scenario for the 49ers is if Cam Ward is the only quarterback to go in the top 10. That would be that would suck a little bit. Like, if the 49ers had the 11th pick last year, or even if the 13th pick last year would have been better value than the 11th pick this year. Because last year you had Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix, and Bo Nix go in the top 12. So that means if you would have had pick 13, you probably would have been picking from one of the 7 best position players in that draft. But this year with the Niners at pick 11, they had Cam Ward go, and then the rest of these picks have been position players. So there isn't going to be someone that's going to fall to the 49ers like we were hoping for. It was sort of a long shot anyway, but hopefully at least Shedeur Sanders goes right here to the Saints. If they were smart, then they wouldn't, but hopefully. Here's an interesting tweet from James Crapia something. Oregon faced 3 of the top 6 picks in the 2025 NFL draft last season. Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, and then it cuts off, but the other one is Ashton Jeanty, of course. Ashton Jeanty torched them, but they held Abdul Carter and Mason Graham in check. So Abdul Carter, that has a lot to do with Josh Connerly. Mason Graham, that's going to have more to do with Poncho. Marcus Harper stepped in that Michigan game. And then the left guard was... Who was the left guard? I can't remember who their left guard was. I'm still not seeing what the Saints are picking at 9. Feeling like a $1,000,000. Nice. There it is, official from Roger Goodell himself. Yeah, I haven't seen the Saints yet. I haven't seen who they're picking. I keep refreshing once every 20 seconds. Come on, pick Shadur. Ooh! Pick is in. Dov Kleeman. I don't know if I'm saying his name, but it's the same guy that's announcing all of these. The Saints select Kelvin Banks with the 9th overall pick. Get him off the board. Get him off the board so he's not even a temptation for the 49ers. Get Kelvin Banks out of here, man. No way in any universe do I want Kelvin Banks on the Niners. And there were some rumors going around. All right, Bears are on the clock. There's no way they're taking... there's no way they take a quarterback. Who would the Bears take here? Maybe... Do they go Jalen Walker? Do they go Will Johnson? Who would they go with here at pick 10? Because Ted McMillan at 8 was the first thing that was different from the consensus mock drafts that were coming out. And Kelvin Banks at 9, I think most people expected the Saints to grab a quarterback. And here at 10, the Bears were linked to Kelvin Banks. There's a pretty significant drop-off between Banks and Connerly. I mean, I've talked about how much I like Connerly in the past few days, but you're probably not going to pick him at 10. All of a sudden that post about Kelvin Banks is gone. Okay, there it is again. Never mind. Looks like the Saints are going Kelvin Banks. It's good because they needed to replace Ramczyk, who just retired, so they needed a tackle. Yeah. All right, we got the kid back. Who do the Bears pick? I'm seeing some people disappointed. No Shedeur Tanola. I am very intrigued who the Bears take at 10 now. The Bears are taking Colston Loveland, the best tight end in the draft. I said what I said. Colston Loveland, the best tight end in this year's draft. The Niners better not take Tyler Warren. The Niners better not take Tyler Warren, man. No, thank you. No, thank you on Tyler Warren. No, no, no. Now I'm so nervous. So that's definitely different from what anyone had. I'll be so I'll be so upset if they take Tyler Warren, man. I'm shutting this stream down if they take Tyler Warren. Oh. I'm seeing Michael Williams as the pick at 11. If that's the pick, I'm good. I'm good with that pick. That does mean they pass up Jalen Walker, Will Johnson, and Jahdae Barron, but they can select corner later. If it's Michael Williams, you got a thumbs up from the Soda Report, John Lynch. That's a tweet for Eric Branch. From Eric Branch that the 49ers select Michael Williams. So, Michael Williams, he's very young. He's only 20 years old. So, his body needs some development. There's definitely a possibility of fans being upset with this pick this year. But after giving him a full offseason, letting him grow into his body, and being in the NFL for a full year, I think he's going to play really well in 2026. And it's just going to take a little bit more time than some of these other first round picks. But he's the best run defending edge in this draft. And he's got some great pass moves as well. There's the official announcement for Colston Loveland. I really like that Michael Williams pick, if that really is the pick. Colston Loveland to the Bears, man. That's going to be one interesting offense next year. They loaded up on the offensive line, and now their first pick is a tight end. So, John Lynch gave an interview, his pre-draft interview. And he said that when they were looking at edge rushers, the first thing they look at is who can set the edge. And a lot of people went and started talking about Michael Williams after that. Because he is the best. He is the best edge at setting the edge. Jalen Walker, he's a really good pass rusher, but setting the edge isn't really what he does. And he can get moved around in the run game just a little bit. So I see the flaws that they see in Jalen Walker. I really like Michael Williams, man. I really like Michael Williams. I wish they would have traded back, but it takes two teams to work out a trade. So we don't know what offers were coming across the table. And at 11, they made a great pick. So Man, the 49ers losses just came up on the TV. There were a lot of them. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. 6'5" and an eighth, 260 pounds. They're listing him as a high upside player and a dominant rusher. They're talking about his violent hands. They're talking about his length. Talking about his range. They're going to list off all the reasons why Mykel Williams is the best player ever. Okay. So here he is. He had a prospect grade of 6.47, which they're grading him as a good starter within 2 years. That's what they say. 6'5", 260, 34-inch arms. So those are some long arms. His production was okay in college. It wasn't great, but it was okay. But his athleticism score and his total score was great. Here's his overview. An upside prospect with loads of traits, Williams simply needs more snaps and more time to fill out his frame. He is an explosive athlete who uses his exceptional length to keep tackles and tight ends at the end of his punch. He plays a little too tall at the point and needs to get stronger to shed blocks more quickly, but he plays with good physicality in the trenches and is never pushed around. He's still learning moves and counters, but already has a big bull rush, good secondary effort, and the closing burst to become a sack blanket in the pocket. He's not there yet, but Williams' improvement to become an impactful 4-3 base end feels inevitable. Here's his strengths. He explodes out of stance and into blocks with force, range and quickness to spill and chase or close down from the backside. Covers ground quickly with his backside pursuit. More than 30% of his career tackles resulted in a loss. Quality get off to attack the high side of the rush. Uses tethered step and swipe move to infiltrate the pocket. Keeps long arms active for strip sacks and batted passes. Turns speed into power Speed and power. Turn speed into power with a runway from wide alignment. Good change of direction in closing burst as a sack finisher. Weaknesses, he needs to improve base strength and upper body power. That's going to come as he grows into his body. Remember, he's only 20 years old. Can be stalled by strong hands that cinch him up. The Cowboys just selected Tyler Booker. That's an interesting pick. Anyway, another weakness is inconsistent press and shed at point of attack. Pass rush approach is currently underdeveloped. Rush can become too straight-legged and upright. Inside counters are redirected due to pad level. So, that's what NFL says about him. So, like I said, this guy could struggle in his first year just because of how young he is. Does it have his age on here? I don't think it does. But I really like this guy. He was a great player in college. And I mean, if anything, Georgia has shown that they can pump out D linemen. Okay, so looks like he didn't participate in any of these. Okay. A 4.74 unofficial time. That's kind of too bad. Okay, 4.76 40 time would have been 4th at the combine, and it's 87th percentile for edge rushers. So he can be a speed rusher. I talked about that with James Pierce Jr., where I wanted a speed rusher to complement Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is a technician, and a lot of times he's just a step too slow to get to the quarterback. So pair him with Mykel Williams, and hopefully he can have a good speed rush and push the quarterback either into Nick Bosa, or he can track the quarterback down himself. Let's see, who did the Dolphins draft? Dolphins draft Tyler Grant. Okay. Is that... I honestly haven't heard of him. Is that a reach? Is that a reach, or am I just an idiot? That's looking like a reach. Wait a minute. Wait. Is this for real? Okay. No, this is... Okay, I think this is just a joke. I'm obviously not up to speed on pop culture stuff. I wanted to make sure I'm live. I can't believe that, man. Oh, Kenneth Grant. Okay. Dang. I really liked Kenneth Grant. This is interesting. This is interesting so far, man. Alright, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be on Giant Sports Talk Live in an hour and a half. And I would like to sit down and enjoy more dinner and get showered after work. So I'm going to shut it down. Great pick from the San Francisco 49ers. Love it. Double thumbs up. Michael Williams, welcome to San Francisco. So I'm going to be talking a lot more about this draft. But for now, peace out.